The price is not worth it. We actually caught a 900-pound fish last year. We ended up getting, by the time everything was finished, $375. And we said, you don't even want to kill a beautiful fish like that for $375. Hi, I'm Captain Archie Jost. I fished on Swords Life on the Line on Discovery Channel for the last 60 years. We caught anything from Florida pompano or little bluefish in the Great South Bay, striped bass, all the way up to 1,200-pound giant tuna and 700-pound, 800-pound swordfish and blue marlin. You name it, I've caught it. Today, you see these fish on this Wicked Tuna show. It's all a bunch of, that's not true. The guy in the truck never gives you a price on the fish. You don't get a price on the fish till after the fish is sold. But they do make it sound like they're getting $15,000, $20,000 for a fish when they're really getting $8 or $9 a pound for this fish, and sometimes less. One of the main reasons that we don't really want to kill giant tuna fish and sell them anymore, because the price is not worth it. We actually caught a 900-pound fish last year. We ended up getting, by the time everything was finished, $375. And we said, you don't even want to kill a beautiful fish like that for $375. But somebody's making money on it somewhere. Well, I think like on the Wicked Tuna Fish show, there are some really good fishermen on there. I must say, a lot of them are my friends and a lot of them are really good. But a lot of it is show too. The thing that most fishermen that really know how to catch these fish don't like is the mismanagement or the misconception of the price of the fish and how easy they make it to catch. I mean, right now it is pretty easy because there's an abundance of fish. They have rebound, just like the swordfish. The fish, because of the quotas and the conservation by the American fishermen, now some of the other countries finally realize that they have to conserve, but the American fishermen were the first ones, starting way back in the 80s, to start conservation on giant bluefin tuna and swordfish. So those stocks right now are really healthy and very, very strong. Tuna is probably the strongest now that it's been in 80 years. The stocks are just rebound phenomenal. But a lot of the stuff you see on that show, I mean, it's entertaining, work against each other and everything, and it's entertaining, but I think our show Swords Life on the Line was a lot more realistic in a lot of ways, because every fish you caught was a different fish. It wasn't the same fish, and every situation that you were in was different. The seas were a lot different too. When you're fishing out in the North Atlantic, it's a lot different fishing out there than it would be in Cape Cod Bay. I mean, it could get rough in Cape Cod Bay, but nothing like the North Atlantic, where you could get 30-foot seas. And one night, actually, we had winds of 115 miles an hour for an hour and a half, because that's the hurricane. That's where the hurricanes, they call it the hurricane graveyard, because that's where they end up. And if you're fishing out there June, July, and August, you got a good shot at getting one of those. And it happens quite often out there. And that's why the perfect storm came together and that boat was lost. Linda was in the other boat, the Hannah boat, and she was the captain of that boat. And Linda and I became friends many, many years ago, and we remain very close friends. And we talk all the time. Matter of fact, she did Deadliest Catch last year. And she went and did a season on Deadliest Catch and fished on Wild Bill's boat. It was really a lot of fun to watch her on there. But I was calling her on WhatsApp back and forth from the boat, and she was saying to me, I wish you were here to fix a couple of things for me on this boat. But it's funny, because they did a 2-hour segment one night about her whole Swords Life on the Line. And of course, I was on Deadliest Catch for 2 hours one night, and I'm getting calls from all friends of mine. We saw you on Deadliest Catch last night. And I didn't even realize I was going to be on there. You know, it was pretty interesting. It was a lot of fun, really. But she's an unbelievable person, a great captain, and writes some great books too. I would do it again. I might have missed some things in my lifetime that I sort of regret a little bit, like family things, because I put a lot into fishing. And sometimes, like today, Greg will want to go like 2 or 3 days in a row, and like I won't go because I just don't want to put that much more time on the ocean now. I have so much time on the ocean now I think some other things may be a little bit more important to me now than they were then. And I think that's just something that comes with age. And you can't take a full day. When they were going out there a couple of weeks ago, they were doing 14, 15-hour days. I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to do it. But I did go out and we had some really good time out there with both of my sons and a friend who's been like a son to me all his life. I do reflect back and I do think about all the good times, and I also think about the bad times, you know, being on the ocean and some of the things I did miss, you know. It's like when I met Linda, she was on the ocean for 18 years. I actually met her before she got off, but when she was on the ocean for 18 years and never even, and on the Grand Banks a good part of that time, and never even really realized how planes have evolved, how rockets have evolved, and all these other things. You spend so much time on the ocean fishing commercially, you don't realize what's going on in the rest of the world. You come home, you visit your family, you take a week off and you're back, you know. And that's really a hard life, a very hard life.